There we go. So we're a small group today.
That's okay. We're already over here in Ottawa.
Hi, Ottawa. Yeah. Yes, and I'm sitting right in front of the air conditioning and I'm very cold right now. But I wanted to...
It's cold here today.
Okay, well, I'm sure we'll all get through this. So I'd like to say welcome, and today we're going to be talking about procedural writing. And procedural writing is where you teach somebody how to. And I know with my class that I spent the part of the year we were writing stories called narratives, and part of the year we were spent doing report writing. And so this is our newest genre that we're working on, is how to do things. So our story that I'm going to start out with is called Charlie Needs a Cloak. And it's a story about Charlie, who is a shepherd. And a shepherd is somebody who takes care of sheep. And it says, Charlie was a shepherd. He had a cozy house, a big hat, a crook, and a flock of fat sheep. But everyone said, Charlie needs a cloak. And I know you might have some questions while I'm reading, but we're probably going to have to wait until after I'm done reading to ask the questions. Okay? But you might want to, if you can see the pictures, you might want to pay attention to this little sheep. He does all sorts of things in this book. Poor Charlie. He really needed a new cloak. So in the spring, Charlie sheared his sheep. He washed the wool and carded the wool to straighten it out. Then Charlie spun the wool into yarn. Charlie wanted a red cloak, so he picked some pokeweed berries during the late summer and boiled them over a fire. Then Charlie dyed the yarn in berry juice. After the yarn was dry, Charlie put the strands on a loom. And every fall evening, he wove the yarn into cloth. Charlie put the cloth on a table and cut it into pieces. He pinned the pieces together and sewed them. And then, when winter came, Charlie had a beautiful new cloak. Now, there were some things that Charlie did in this story that might have been some interesting or some new words for you. So one of the things that they talked about, and it's nice that the author put this in his book, he put like a glossary to let us know some of the special words. So here's the word shear, and that means to clip the wool from a sheep. And card means to untangle wool with a comb or brush. Spin is to twist the wool into yarn. Weave to twist the thread into cloth. Sew to fasten together with thread, and a cloak is a coat without sleeves. So Mrs. Kolb, that's me, loves to do things with wool. So I happen to have, just handy here at my desk, some fleece that came from a sheep. This is, I wish you could smell it and feel it. It's soft and it smells like something called lanolin. So I have, just like Charlie, my very own carding combs. And what you do when you get the fleece off of the sheep, after it's been washed, you put it on the combs. And I'm putting it on. And then I'm going to take the combs, and it's not as easy as it looks. I'm going to straighten the wool out. So instead of being a big clump like it is here, I now have it straightened out And I can use that to now comb against it. And it makes it a nice little roll, which then I use, straighten that out, and I have a drop spindle. So instead of a spinning wheel, I use this drop spindle, and I'll hook my wool onto here, and it'll cause, when I drop my spindle, it'll cause the wool to twist into nice little thread. See the thread? And when I'm done with the thread, when I've made a lot of it, it goes on a spool that has it together. And Mrs. Kolb likes to work with wool, but I don't have a loom. What I do have though is knitting needles. And so I take my yarn, instead of making it on the loom, I knit things. And this is a sweater that I'm not finished with, but it has cables on it because I like making fancy knitted cable sweaters. So by reading Charlie Needs a Cloak, I kind of learned how Charlie would take his sheep and he would be able to make his own cloak out of that.